I am very proud and happy to be one of the daughters of St. Paul. Our congregation is one of the 10 institutes of the Pauline family, founded by Blessed James Alberione. We thank God for Blessed James Alberione, our founder, whom God chose to introduce a new way of proclaiming the gospel in the church in the world. Blessed James Alberione was in his late 20s when he began our congregation with the charism of proclaiming the gospel through the emerging media of communications. When he found himself ill and wondered if it was God's will to continue with the new foundations, his spiritual director, Canon Chiesa, guaranteed him to go ahead. Blessed Alberione himself experienced God's assurance saying, "Do not be afraid, I am with you." So he took courage and decided to move ahead. He was well aware of the influence of the power of media on people. So he started with the publication of the diocesan newspaper and printing of the gospel in large quantities so that every family would have a copy of the gospel. As time went by, he adapted radio and television for the transmission of the good news. Alert to the signs of the times and especially to the development of new communication technologies, he would, in the words of Pope Paul VI, give the Church new means of self-expression, revealing that the same media often exploited for profit or domination could be placed at the service of evangelization. Thus we, the daughters of St. Paul, our missionary sisters, sent forth in the spirit of St. Paul to bring Christ to the world through the most effective means of communication. We see the mission of communication in the Church not as a business, but as preaching, as an exercise of the ministry of salvation. Walking on the path of Blessed James Alberione, we continue to use the most modern forms of media to be a light in the world. Blessed Alberione used to repeat that we began from Bethlehem, meaning that we had a very humble beginning. He, in fact, went through a lot of hardships. His faith in the Lord sustained him all through. Mother Thecla Merlo, our first Mother General, was his help and support in building up our congregation. She gave a lead to the printing ministry, though she was not trained in it. It was her faith and desire to spread the gospel that left her to take up challenging tasks. For me too, their faith is an example of strength in my life. Our pioneers were trained in editing, printing, and publication of books and magazines, which we continue to this day. We also visited families every day to bring the gospel and good literature to everyone. In Goa, you will meet us through the 3 book centers, besides at church venues and schools with display of books. Our books are value-based and are targeted at different age groups. There are spiritual books, personality development books, and stories. We have also begun enthronement of Bibles in our neighborhood, families, to encourage love of the Bible and the importance of the Bible in our families. This is also to help us grow in the knowledge and experience of the Word of God. As the social media is now the world of the young, we are involved in training and motivational programs in schools. We are not directly involved in village ministry. However, we participate in this ministry carried out by most of our religious by sharing their hidden mission, by writing about them in online news portals and newspapers. Writing is another part of our mission. Our devotions. Jesus' way, truth, and life is our life-giving force. Eucharist is the source of life. We honor Blessed Mother as Queen of Apostles, who guides us in our life and mission in giving Jesus to our contemporaries. St. Paul remains as our model and inspirer in launching into new mission fields in the emerging social media. Daughters of St. Paul continue in the paths traced by Blessed James Alberione and Maestra Tecla Merlo, eagerly following the progress of communications technologies so as to give wings to the gospel.
Your word to spread, your truth make known, to be your presence.